Now let's move back to the markets over here in Nigeria. Q3 corporate earnings continue to flow into the markets. Rotimi Fakayejo, CEO of Enterprise Capital Partners, is at the NSE right now to help us wrap up the day's trade. Rotimi, thank you very much for joining us. And we've continued to see those numbers flow out from corporate Nigeria. The numbers we've seen today, I think perhaps one of the most significant will be what we've seen from Lafarge Africa. We're seeing a 29% dip in profits. But on the flip side, we're seeing Ashaka Cement, which we know is also part of the Lafarge Group in Nigeria, reporting a very strong improvement in profit. So how do you juxtapose these two numbers?
Well, I think taking it from Ashaka Cement for quite a while is really been in the right, except maybe the last 15 months, whereby it bounced back and it started paying dividend again. I think for Ashaka Cement also, they've really done a lot to reduce their operating expenses. We saw a sharp drop from 13 billion to 10 billion in their operating expenses. That with just a slight increase of about 10% in their gross earnings, we are seeing about 103% increase in their bottom line. And I think they've really gone a long way, and they've done a lot in their financial engineering to ensure that this comes to place. And I think maybe for Lafarge Wapco, it's actually the operating expenses that is weighing down on the company. And we've seen that also in major other companies listed on the exchange, not being able to tackle their bring down the figures in their operating expenses, and that is why we are seeing so much disparity in these two companies, in spite of the fact that they belong to the same sector.
All right. I am seeing that Diamond Bank also reported late during the trading session. We'll get into that in a little bit. But let's talk a bit about the other numbers that we've seen recently. Nestle Nigeria also reporting today. That stock, of course, one of the highest nominal, in terms of nominal value, is one of the highest price stock in the market. Your take about where Nestle goes from here?
Well, I think I won't cease to mention the fact all the time that Nestle Nigeria PLC belongs to a stock in its own class. It's very exclusive. And for those investors that are holding on to those shares, I think though the result matters, but at the same time, they will hold on to that stock come rain, come shine. So what we've seen now with the price having come below 1,000 naira, I still want to believe that it's still going to get higher than that. More so for the fact that they are doing an interim dividend of 10 naira. So I think investors are really going to sympathize on that note, and are really they will definitely go ahead to hold on to what they have. So I don't really see much of a drop in the price of Nestle Nigeria PLC. Right,
and what about Unilever though? Unilever, of course, when they reported, not very exciting. What do we do with that stock? That's been a bellwether for many years, but recently we have seen that they have come under some pressure. Operating expenses have been a problem.
Well, I think for Unilever, it's quite a different ball game, because for Nestle, we have seen a slight increase in their top line, in their gross earnings. But for Unilever, it really means that their business is really threatened, because we have seen a sharp drop in their top line, and also a significant drop in their bottom line. And I think when a particular company is losing market share, then it's really, really a serious problem. And I think they really have to do a lot to do more of marketing so that they can improve their sales. Otherwise, we may really see this trend continue for Unilever.
Right. I don't know if you've had a chance to see this, but of course, Stanbic IBTC has now reported its numbers, 49% improvements in profit. I think that's one of the best numbers we're going to see out of the banking sector. What do you think this could mean for the share price going forward?
Well, I think it's really done well, because the share price right now is the highest in that particular sector. And with such a fantastic result, we are seeing every other company with their profit after tax dipping, whereas for this one is recording a significant growth. And I think for this growth, investors are definitely going to compensate it, and we're going to see the price improve once again, at least maybe to about 33 naira.
Right, but like I mentioned, this is perhaps one of the best we're going to see, especially from the banking sector. What's your outlook for the banking stocks? Are we likely to see a rally at any point? Because what we've seen so far from the likes of FBN Holdings, UBA, it's all been a case of declining profit. Do you think that these stocks can still rebound, even though many people will continue to argue that many of them are undervalued in terms of when you look at their intrinsic value?
Yes, I agree with you that some of them are undervalued. Even FBN PLC, with the position that it is right now, the earnings per share is still above 2 naira. And concerning rally, I believe we're still going to have a rally, maybe very shortly, but it's going to be short-lived. It's not going to last for too long. And I think maybe after that, we may just see the stocks resting at those particular prices. Well, for me, I believe FBN Holdings trading at about 16, 17 is still a very fair price. So for what we are seeing right now, the stock is well undervalued, because the expectation for the result that we've just seen, the 9-month result, I think we're expecting it to be worse than what it is. But I think they've really done a lot to be able to keep it at the figure that they are presented.
All right, so let's end with this. Which stocks are looking most exciting for you? So far, earnings season hasn't been great, but I think it was widely expected. So in this context, where should we be putting our money? Which stocks are the best ideas for you?
Well, I think maybe we've seen a lot of stocks come down significantly. We saw that Transcorp PLC closing on offer today at 451 kobo. And I think maybe on that note, I believe it's one of those stocks that should really be looked at. And with UBA trading at 509, 510, I think is really another stock to look at. And maybe a few other stocks in the banking sector whose prices have come down significantly, more so for Skybank PLC.
All right, Rotimi, let's leave it there. Rotimi Fakayejo, CEO of Enterprise Capital Partners.